Good morning, students. Welcome to JCE Connect. In the previous class, we have started with module 2, that is intensity transmission and spatial filtering. We have seen the term spatial domain, what is spatial domain, and special principal categories of spatial processing, and also some basic intensity transformation and basics of intensity transformation and spatial filtering. Now let us see some basic intensity transformation functions. The first one is image negative. Image negative. Now, intensity transformations are among the simplest of all the image processing techniques. The values of the pixels just before the processing and just after the processing, let us take as denote as just before processing as R and after processing as S. Now, the image negative, what of the image negative is given by S is equal to L minus 1 minus R. So, the range is here we will see what is the image negative. The negative of an image with intensity levels in the range of 0 to L minus 1 is obtained by using the negative transformation, that is nothing but S equal to L minus 1 minus R. Now let us take L is equal to 256. If you take L is equal to 256, then and let us take the value R is equal to 0. If you take R equal to 0, then S is equal to 256 minus 1 minus 0, it is 255. Right. Now let us take SR is equal to 255, then S is equal to 0. So this means whatever the 0 value for R equal to 0, S is equal to 255, and 5 for R equal to 255, S is equal to 0. That is nothing but negation of the whatever the value you get, you are getting negation of the value is given. That is nothing but image negative. The image negative is as good as equivalent to the photographic negative. This type of processing is particularly suited for enhancing white or gray details in dark region of an image, especially when black areas are dominant in size. Let us see an example. So this is an example. If you see here, black, whatever the black is there, if you see here, it has become white, and wherever the white region is there, it has become black. This is nothing but negative of an image. This is an image of a mammogram, example of an image of a mammogram image. Now let us see what is log transformation. So here you can see what is image negative. Image negative, if you see here, if you see here, R is the input values and S is the output. Now if you see here, negative of the image, wherever 0 is there, R equal to 0, negative, this is the line negative, and S equal to L minus 1. That is nothing but when R equal to 0, S is equal to 255. When for R equal to 0, whenever R is equal to 255 or L minus 1, S is equal to 0. This is nothing but negative of an image. Now let us see log transformation. The log transformation, the general form of log transformation is given by S is equal to C into log of 1 plus R, where C is a constant value and R is where C and R are constant values. R is nothing but input, and here S is the output. C is a constant where R is greater than or equal to 0. Now let us see the graph of this one. The graph of this one is nothing but log graph. Here this is the input and this is the output versus R versus S. If you see here the graph for this is the graph for log transformation, and if you see for the input range 0 to L by 2, the output, if you draw a straight line like this, output you got a range of more than 3L by 2 here. And for the output range from L by 2 to L by 2 to L minus 1, if you see the output range is only this much. This means the shape of the log curve here, it maps it to a narrow range of low intensity values in the input into a wider range of output. The opposite is true for the higher values of the input. The log function has the important characteristics, that is, it compresses the dynamic range of images with large variations in the pixel values. One of applications in which the pixel values are here, if that is nothing but whatever the values here it is there after application here, it is either been used for the stretching or compressing. This is the logs function and this is the inverse log function. Now let us see the power law transformation or gamma transformation. Power law or gamma transformation. The power law transformation have the basic form S is equal to C into R raised to gamma, where C and gamma are positive values. The plot of S versus R is shown here, where C and R are positive values. Now here it also can be written as S equal to C into R plus epsilon raised to gamma, where epsilon is an offset value in order to wherever the input is R equal to 0, so some offset value is added to this one. The plot of S versus R for the various values of gamma is shown in this figure. Now the power law curve with the fractional values of gamma map a narrow range of narrow range of dark input levels and into a wider range of output. If you see the wider range of output for a narrow range of inputs, you have wider range of outputs, and with the opposite being true for higher values of the input signals. The curve generated here, if you see the curve, if you see the curve, the gamma is equal to when C, these values are calculated for C is equal to 1, for C is equal to 1, and for different gamma values. If you see here the gamma value for C is equal to C is equal to 1 and gamma equal to 1, you get a graph like this identity. And for gamma equal to 1.5, the power log graph is like this, and for this is nothing but 0.67 is nothing but 1 by gamma, 1 by 1.5 is nothing but you get opposite of this one. This is reciprocal of this value. And for gamma 2.5 you get a graph like this, S value, and this is for gamma is equal to 1 by 2.5, and this is for gamma is equal to 5, and this is for gamma is equal to 1 by 5, and this is for gamma equal to 10, and this is for 1 by 10, and this is for gamma is equal to 25, and this is for gamma is equal to 1 by 25. This is the graph for power log graph for C is equal to 1 and for different gamma values. Now if you see here, the gamma, whatever the power is there, this is called gamma, and the convention here, it is called conventionally called the power or the exponent of power law function is called gamma, and the process of correcting these power law responses is phenomenon is called gamma correction. Whatever the process of correcting this value is gamma correction. For example, cathode ray tube, if you take a CRT device, has intensity to voltage response, that is power function. That is power function, whatever you use example of for this one. This gamma correction is important if displaying an image accurately. If you want to display an image accurately on a computer screen, then this gamma correction is very important. Suppose if you want to convert an image from the converted image, if you want to convert it into a black and white image, if you want to convert into a colored image, then you want this gamma correction has to be there. Image that is not correct properly, if you are not correct, if this gamma value is not corrected, either the image will be seen as bleached out, means too bright, it will be too bright, or it will be too dark. So trying to reproduce color accurately, if you have to reproduce the color accurately on the computer monitor, then the knowledge of gamma correction is very important. The value of gamma changes does not only on the intensity, but also it is the whatever the value gamma correction is there, not only it is for the intensity, it is also for RGB values, whatever red, green and blue values of the color image, RGB values. Now let us see an example. This is an aerial image taken from the satellite image, and the first one is the image, and this one is the image after for gamma correction is equal to 3, and the next image is for gamma correction is equal to 4.0, gamma taking the gamma values 4.0, and the last one is for gamma is equal to 5.0. Now let us see the piecewise linear transformation function. Here the piecewise linear transformation function, the principal advantage of this piecewise linear function over the normal other types of functions just now we have discussed is that any arbitrary function of a complex value can be used here. But the disadvantage of this piecewise linear transformation is it requires considerably more inputs from the user side. Now let us see the contrast stretching. We have here three functions. One is contrast stretching, intensity level slicing and bit plane slicing. Now let us see contrast stretching. One of the simplest piecewise linear function is contrast stretching transformation, where low contrast, suppose if you take a low contrast image, can result this low contrast image, whatever the image is there, low contrast image can be a result of poor illumination or lack of dynamic ranges, poor illumination or lack of dynamic range in the image sensor. In the image sensor can be a problem itself, or even the setting of the lens, whatever the camera lens is there, setting of the lens aperture, that can be, because of this there can be a poor or very low intensity value. Now here the contrast stretching is a process where that expands the range of intensity levels. Suppose it is only for low levels value, here the contrast stretching is nothing but it will stretch the intensity values. Now let us see an example. Now if you see the this is the input image, this is the low contrast image, and this is the image of this is the image, this is the low contrast image, and this is the image of contrast stretching, and this is the thresholded image. Now let us take the values. Now let us take the points, that this is the nothing but R and S. Now let us take R1 and R1 and S1. This is R1 and S1, some intensity values, and this is R2 and S2 also some intensity values. Now if you take R1 is equal to S1, then R2 is equal to S2, then the transformation is linear, whatever the linear transformation are equal to R2, and R1 equal to S1 and R2 is equal to S2, the transformation is linear transformation that produces no changes in the intensity level. Whatever the changes are there, it will be as it is. If the R1 is taken, if R1 is taken is equal to R2, and S1 is taken as 0. S1 is taken as, this value is taken as 0, and S2 is taken as L minus 2. Whatever the graph you get is nothing but like a straight line, here, that is nothing but thresholding function that creates a linear or a binary transformation. That is nothing but before this value it is a dark image, and after this is a bright image. Now in intermediate value, if R1 and S1 and R2 and S2 produce various degree of spread in the intensity levels of the output image, whatever the output image, thus affecting its. Therefore, if you take R1 less than or equal to R2 and S1 less than or equal to S2, is assumed that the function is a single value and monotonically increasing. It is increasing monotonically increasing. And if you see this, because of this, there will be a contrast stretching. So here the image, first image, whatever the first image is there, this is a image, and the second one is a low contrast image, and the third one is resultant of contrast stretching, and the fourth one is result of thresholding. This is the original image, which is nothing but low intensity values. You cannot make out the what is the exact image here. This image, whatever is there, after contrast stretching, that is nothing but intensity, expanding the intensity values, and this is for taking S is equal to R is, for R is S is equal to 0 and S1 is equal to 0 and S1 S2 is equal to L minus 1, you are getting, that is nothing but thresholding function. This is for thresholding function.